Tonight, construction season's comeback.
I hope we're gonna survive with it, and then we'll see.
What to expect as work on London's major transit project resumes. Plus, cutting funding for supervised consumption.
They're going to use anyways, so it might as well be somewhere where they're going to be safe.
The impact at London's CarePoint facility and its uncertain future. And sniper security for St. Patrick's Day. Reaction to the Waterloo police approach to crowd management.
That's just one piece of the overall tactical team arsenal, really.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Slowdowns are about to hit drivers heading through one of London's busiest intersections. The 2026 construction season is getting underway, with the next phase of bus rapid transit construction expected to be the most disruptive. With more, here's Sean Irvin.
The sign ahead confirms what is about to happen. BRT construction moves to the intersection of Wellington and Commissioners starting this week. Phase 2A, as the city calls it, impacts the area from just south of Baseline Road to Wilkins Street. This year, infrastructure will be replaced. Road construction and the installation of bus lanes will take place in 2027.
And the goal is to maintain access to businesses and to maintain at least one lane of traffic and the turn lane so that traffic keeps flowing during construction.
Of course, further down Wellington, Londoners have already experienced what happens when only one lane of traffic is moving through Wellington Road. While that project is now moving to resurfacing and finishing touches, businesses here endured months of limited access. Now it's the turn of those closer to Commissioners to feel the pain. This barber shop is located in a strip mall at the center of future construction. Its owner, Ways Jabbar, is worried customers will now look for alternatives away from the shovels and dirt.
The coming 2 years, I don't know how is it gonna be. I hope we're gonna survive with it, and then we'll see.
Well, significant construction will take place from Baseline up past Wellington towards Wilkins starting immediately. It will be another few months before the final phase of construction along this section of Wellington begins.
Phase 2B will see BRT lanes installed from the busy Baseline intersection north towards Watson Street. The staging of Phase 2 is necessary to ensure emergency vehicles can access Victoria Hospital.
So we're going to try to make sure we're keeping one of those intersections unrestricted as much as possible at the same time. So we've always got access to the hospital maintained.
Both phases, including the finishing touches, are expected to be completed by late spring 2028. BRT operation would commence on Wellington that fall. Jabbar hopes the service brings new growth to his business. He says that trend happened when he lived near new transit lines in Toronto a few years ago.
I have seen some areas that really benefits the businesses, to be honest with you. It's really good. So I'm hoping it's going to be that way.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
London police are preparing for St. Patrick's Day festivities tomorrow. Many took the opportunity to celebrate this past weekend, including in Waterloo, the site of a controversial police response. Karis Mapp has more on the tactical team brought in and the apparent sniper perched overhead.
This is one of many videos circulating social media showing a sniper on the balcony of a building near the unsanctioned St. Patrick's Day gathering, a precaution some students say they still don't understand.
It just seems extra. It's like, are they really expecting something bad to happen?
Waterloo Mayor Dorothy McCabe told media on the weekend that she was also surprised and shocked to see the scoped weapon deployed. Waterloo Regional Police confirming several initiatives were employed to ensure everyone's safety, including barriers and tactical officers positioned in elevated locations. Former Ontario Provincial Police Commissioner Chris Lewis said he agrees with Regional Police's use of the sniper.
It's not unusual at all to have tactical team in the background watching from a good viewpoint and being prepared to support the public order officers.
In an emailed statement to CTV News on Monday, Mayor McCabe said she has since spoken to Police Chief Mark Kroll and now has a more fulsome understanding of the plans in place. Experts say it's up to police forces to determine their plans and what to share.
You don't call politicians and tell them, here's what we're going to do tomorrow when we hit the Outlaws or Hells Angels clubhouse, or we're going to arrest a murderer.
Annalise Meerton is an exchange student from Australia at the University of Waterloo. She said it was unnerving to see the tactical officer looking down on the crowd.
I looked up and there it was on top of the building looking down. There were 3 police officers and only 1 sniper, I believe. And my initial reaction was just, oh my goodness.
Meerton says while she's heard about Waterloo's infamous St. Patrick's Day celebration, she wasn't expecting it to be so heavily policed.
Given the unrest in the world at the moment and looking up and seeing a sniper, I was like, oh, do they think there's a reason that they need a sniper? And that definitely caused some nerves.
But Lewis says it's always better to be prepared.
That doesn't mean that they're intending on shooting people in the crowd. It's just a preparatory issue. In worst case scenario, they have the ability to make that judgment call.
While some students say they understand the need for the sniper,
God forbid, there was a shooter or something, I guess, yeah.
Others still believe it was unnecessary.
Oh, it seems really extra. Is something that bad actually going to happen? I thought we lived in a relatively safe area.
Kara Smapp, CTV News, Waterloo.
A house fire triggered a partial house collapse in East London today. Firefighters were called to Manitoulin Drive just before 2 p.m. They say high winds pushed the flames to a neighboring home with damage estimated at $450,000. They also say a cause is under investigation and no one was injured.
The back addition did collapse. Our firefighters were working on a defensive attack there. There was no one in the structure at the time.
Good evening, I'm Rita Ismail. As we head into the night, we have a special weather statement in place issued by Environment Canada, a wind warning for us here in London. With the passage of a sharp cold front earlier today, the winds have kicked up. They will be gusting throughout the evening up to 90 kilometers per hour. Further to the north, Grey Bruce, Huron and Perth, you're under a snow squall warning. We're expecting up to 40 centimeters of snowfall for parts of Midwestern Ontario. It's all thanks to that big system that brought in rainfall early this morning. And as we push through the night, we're switching to lake effect flurries and bands of snow squalls. We'll walk you through the forecast coming up a little later in the show. Carlyle?
Thank you, Rita. Officials at a London fertility clinic say an independent external laboratory review has now been completed. According to a statement, the review found no patient safety risks, but it also failed to identify a definitive cause for what clinic leaders have called unexpected outcomes. The statement indicates a validation process will now determine whether laboratory systems are performing as expected before full IVF services resume. The statement did not elaborate on what officials mean when identifying unexpected outcomes. Local health advocates are asking the federal government to step in, addressing what they call an erosion of public health care.
Now, in 2026, this could be the last stand of universal public health care as we know it.
About 50 people turned out for a London Health Coalition rally in front of Liberal MP Ariel Kayabaga's constituency office. It was one of several Health Coalition demonstrations at MP offices across the country. London organizers identified one specific bill in Alberta, which they say will force patients to pay out of pocket for medically necessary care, while changes in Ontario are pushing more care into private clinics.
We are coming to our MPs who are Liberal and saying, are you not going to stand up for this? It's been too long, too silent, and the government needs to step in and be the cop that it's supposed to be. A fundamental part of this is the ability to claw back dollar for dollar any private charges patients are being forced to pay for medically necessary care.
The city of Owen Sound has lifted an emergency boil water advisory. It was first issued Saturday after residents discovered cloudy discoloration. Local officials say it is no longer necessary to take any remedial steps, and residents can begin using tap water immediately. However, water conservation efforts are still encouraged. Premier Doug Ford is defending his government's decision to cut funding for all supervised drug consumption sites, including one here in London.
When we did it here in Brockville, they told me there's over 1,200, 1,300 visits. so far, helping people. The only difference is we aren't encouraging handing out needles and drugs, and there's no community that wants it. We're putting in investment of over $550 million in heart hubs that are going to help people, get them proper shelter, get them the support they need, get them employment if they need. It's working. What I don't believe in sticking these injection sites in the middle of a community, down the street from a school, needles are all over the place. It's like giving an alcoholic a card for the LCBO and saying, okay, go in there and go to town.
Locally, health advocates say they were shocked to learn that funding would soon terminate. With more on the expected impact at London's CarePoint facility, here's Brent Lale.
I think having it there is important for homeless people and for people that use. They're going to use anyways, so it might as well be somewhere where they're going to be safe.
Corey Spizauka knows firsthand the importance of London's supervised consumption site.
Instead of you seeing them doing it at Victoria Park or downtown, at least they're in those closed doors there.
The Ministry of Health has indicated it will terminate funding for Ontario's remaining supervised consumption sites. That includes CarePoint on York Street.
It's devastating for people who use drugs, and people who are struggling with addiction, who are homeless, who don't have any other place to use their drugs. From a public health perspective, it's a giant step backwards.
However, not everyone is opposed to the closure. At nearby Piccadilly Motors, Elias Samano has not only arrived to work to find a deceased person in one of his vehicles, he's had fires and even people living in his truck.
From the beginning, I think it was the wrong decision to have it here in the middle of the downtown. My advice is for the decision maker to have a facility for those guys outside of the city.
City Councillor Susan Stevenson calls it welcome news for business and property owners. She hopes this will send a strong message to redirect people to focus on treatment and rehabilitation.
I'm hoping this creates a discussion within council and maybe the support to say we're going to align with the province, we're going to create recovery-oriented systems of care here in our city, and how can we support people who are waiting for detox beds, coming out of detox beds, and for those who are walking a journey of recovery, we need places that are free of drugs for the people who want to walk that path.
CarePoint's operators say they had more than 15,000 visits in 2025. They reversed 218 overdoses and had 0 new HIV infections related to drug use. They're still trying to digest this surprising news.
We have a lot of work to do in the days and weeks ahead to try to ensure a smooth transition and a wind down of the program.
The province has given its remaining supervised consumption sites 90 days notice. The funding agreement will expire June 13th. Brent Lale, CTV News.
We have more tonight in our series following London City Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa and her chemotherapy journey. This week on Healing in the Public Eye, she talks about her healthcare choices and balancing motherhood with her treatment.
The drugs can go in, your blood work can come out. It actually goes up through here, all the way through here and to the top of your heart. The PICC line is a longer line that goes in your arm, delivers it closer to your heart for medication. Was a little bit apprehensive about it, did some research, made a decision, actually unmade that decision, and then remade it to have one put in.
This morning we're visiting Zone E for a PICC line going in, trying to be excited about it, and we will see how it goes.
It is intimidating. It's a little bit scary. Just you're making what you believe is the best call for your health based on the information you're given by doctors and nurses. Everything's made sterile when you're having it put in, and they actually cover you with the fabrics, including your face. Which could be intimidating. Agnes did great, made into like a little tent, so you weren't claustrophobic in there, and then had beautiful verbal instructions as you went through it of, I'm doing this, you will feel this.
PICC line's in, and it was the freezing that hurt the most. Overall, really good, happy with it.
I have 3 kids, ages 15 to 20. It's always perpetually hockey season as a hockey mom, so there's always just find that balance and then trying to understand your body and let your body take the rest when it needs. I was anticipating just radiation. When those other tests come back, the numbers were high for reoccurrence, higher than I'm comfortable with children I'm still raising. So went chemotherapy route, realizing it's going to be more invasive and visually very apparent when I'm going through with the kids. Two of the boys had shaved their heads, so now we're waiting to see if mom can rock the bald haircut as well as they can. So trying to find the humor in it, but really making sure that I can do what I can with my health to make sure that I am here for my kids as they continue growing.
March break is underway, which means families across the region are looking for the best ways to make the most of the week off for students. Lauren Stallone has more on the activities on offer at 100 Kellogg Lane.
Kids are trading their books and pencils for a week of March break fun.
I'm happy to be off. Yeah, I'm very happy to be off. There's nothing fun about school.
You don't have to go to school anymore, and you get to do whatever you want, and you get to try new things and do new stuff.
March break gives families the opportunity to get out of the house, and today out of this wind. Here at the factory, it's been a busy day with kids looking for something fun to do while school is out.
We're excited for it to be lined up out this door and out our other entrance for sure. The hero room right now is packed, so all the little ones are having a great time. All the parents are probably going to be at the bar or on the viewing deck.
For students, it's a week off school, but for parents, it's a week to figure out how to keep them busy.
It's amazing. It gives us family time. It gets us to connect with each other and have a really nice time together.
Places like the factory say this week is one of their busiest times of the year.
We just make sure that we have as many bodies on as we possibly can to make sure that parents and little ones are having the best time that they can.
Many kids say the best part of March break is spending the week with family and friends.
It's nice to spend time with people who love you. We have fun together sometimes.
I just like hanging out with my friends, and it's very fun.
And with a full week ahead, the fun is far from over. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
When we come back, stoking tensions on an international stage, the latest pressure from President Trump pushing allies for intervention.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. President Donald Trump is urging other nations to get involved, opening back up a major oil shipping route. It's being choked off by Iran and has become a major focal point of the escalating war in the Middle East. Heather Wright reports.
Smoke billows from an industrial site near the Dubai International Airport, the result of a drone attack earlier today. It's the latest example of Iran's use of asymmetrical warfare, which includes inexpensive drone attacks like this one and leveraging pinch points like the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. is asking its allies to help open the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's foreign minister said today. From our perspective, it's only closed to our enemies and their allies. With oil prices skyrocketing, U.S. President Donald Trump is under pressure to get tanker ships moving. He has called on NATO allies and countries like China to provide military support in order to reopen the strait. It's not our war, we didn't start it, is how Germany's foreign minister responded to the request, the most pointed refusal. Japan, Italy, Australia, and Canada have also said they will not participate.
Canada's not involved in the prosecution of this war, and Canada has no intention of being involved in the prosecution of this war.
I find the request kind of misplaced.
University of Istanbul professor Kıvanç Ulusoy says he's not surprised many countries are turning down requests to help, as the United States never consulted them in the decision to go to war.
The Trump administration did not do almost anything to let's say, to legitimize it, to justify it.
This war is now in its third week, with the death toll in Iran now more than 1,300, according to its health ministry. The death toll in Lebanon also continues to rise as Israel moves more troops into the south in its fight with Hezbollah, which reignited following the killing of Iran's supreme leader. Nearly 900 people have been killed and 2,000 injured in Lebanon since this latest conflict began, with nearly 1 million people displaced. At this point, there are no peace talks planned between Hezbollah and Israel. And an Iranian official said today they have not requested a ceasefire with the United States and are prepared for what could be a lengthy conflict. Heather Wright, CTV News, Istanbul.
Meanwhile, Mark Carney met with the British Prime Minister this morning in the UK, their third meeting in a little more than a year. With more on their focus, here's Judy Trin.
Prime Minister Mark Carney, accompanied by his wife, arrived at 10 Downing Street around 8 this morning. In public remarks, the two leaders reinforced their support for Ukraine, at war with Russia for more than 4 years.
Thank you for all your support on Ukraine. It's been invaluable, and the coalition
this would not have happened without you. And it's exactly that type of leadership that the world requires now, which is to put together these coalitions that help address real issues. Now, of course, the number of issues is multiplied.
Those multiplying issues include President Donald Trump demanding NATO allies send naval assets to secure the Strait of Hormuz in exchange for U.S. support on Ukraine. The Prime Minister didn't address Trump's new threat, but in a readout, condemned the Iranian regime's missile and drone attacks on civilian and energy infrastructure. A day earlier in Norway, Carney and NATO's Nordic members expressed hesitation to get involved in a war started by the U.S. and Israel.
We will use any channel we have, any opportunity we have to urge the parties to find a way that will not escalate this war. I think that's what we can say. It is not our war.
After his bilateral with Starmer, Carney visited Buckingham Palace for a face-to-face with King Charles. Last week, Treaty 6 chiefs raised concerns about Alberta's separation with the monarch.
The king is, as our head of state, also always concerned about resiliency, but at the same time, that issue, I think, is more appropriately dealt with between our government and those First Nations.
Carney turns 61 today and will be officially on holidays over the next 6 days in Europe. The Prime Minister's office says he will be in close contact with his staff on critical issues and return to Ottawa on Sunday, March 22nd. Judy Trin, CTV News, London.
A new poll shows the Prime Minister and the federal Liberals maintaining a lead over the opposition. The latest Main Street research study comes nearly a year after the last federal election. It found 46% of respondents approving Mark Carney's performance so far. Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives came in at 36% support, while the NDP were at just 7%. The NDP are in the process of electing a new leader, expected to be announced by the end of this month. The federal Liberals could secure a majority government next month if they win at least 2 of the 3 scheduled by-elections. President Trump has taken a decidedly adversarial tone in recent days, admonishing American allies for their lack of involvement in his conflict with Iran. Joy Malbon has more on his message to world leaders and the response he's received.
3 weeks into the Iran war that President Donald Trump chose to launch, the president demanding NATO nations come to his aid while mocking some of them.
They weren't that enthusiastic. When we want to know, do you have any minesweepers? Well, would rather not get involved, sir. I said, for 40 years we're protecting you and you don't want to get involved in something that is very minor.
Not a small ask. The Strait of Hormuz is under attack by Iran. Tankers on fire, choking off 20% of the world's oil supply and sending gas prices soaring. The president wants warships to help escort tankers to keep the oil flowing.
We get less than 1% of our oil from the Strait, and some countries get much more. Japan gets 95%. China gets 90%. Many of the Europeans get quite a bit. They should be jumping to help us because we've helped them for years.
Trump is frustrated, even disappointed at NATO allies, ripping into the UK and France, saying he's in talks with 7 countries, and it would be very bad for the future of NATO if they don't step up.
Among other mistakes Trump made before undertaking this operation was not consulting adequately with our allies. He also didn't prepare the American people and didn't prepare the Congress. And I say all this as an advocate of regime change in Iran.
The president claims the Iranian regime has been, quote, obliterated and doesn't know if Iran's new supreme leader is alive or dead.
They're saying that he lost his leg, one leg, and he's been hurt very badly. Other people are saying he's dead.
The president has said the war could be over very soon, but he's also warned the U.S. is not ready to end it either until Iran abandons its nuclear ambitions completely. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
A girl in St. Thomas is now recovering from surgery after receiving a liver transplant from a stranger. Brent Leal has more on her family's desperate search and the donor who came through.
I definitely feel really lucky.
Lily Wag walked out of Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, finishing her stay after receiving a life-saving liver transplant.
It was a whirlwind 24 hours, that's for sure. From saying goodbye to her in the pre-op room to at about 10 a.m. to not getting a chance to see her until midnight in the ICU, it was two nervous parents.
But the surgery went well, and she's got a second chance at life. It's all thanks to 39-year-old Melissa Dearden, who saw the Wag family's cry for help on Facebook.
I'm reading this story, and I'm like, my heart just went out, and I thought, if this was one of my children.
The realtor from Hamilton was a complete stranger, but after realizing she fit all the required criteria, she made the choice to donate.
So I sacrificed 5 days in the hospital, and I sacrificed maybe a week of my life where I was uncomfortable. I wasn't really in pain. I was just, I couldn't do much. All to be able to see a little girl see her 16th birthday and graduate and go on to have a family. I think that, if more people understood and knew about this program, that, maybe we could see more people sign up.
It melts my heart knowing that there's somebody out there that would have risked their life to give our daughter a second chance. So we're forever grateful.
Both Lily and Melissa are on the mend, about halfway to full recovery. Lily is hoping to leave Ronald McDonald House next week and get back to her regular routine in St. Thomas.
Definitely getting back to school. I miss my friends, so that's going to be probably my main one, and baseball, that's for sure.
And she's half the weight she was when she went into surgery. So it's big to see how far she's come in those 4 weeks of getting a new liver and how sick she was to now really kind of how healthy she is to standing here today.
Brent Leal, CTV News.
And Rita Ismail's with me on the desk now handling the forecast for us tonight. And I can see there's a 12 over your shoulder there, Rita. That's a little misleading, though, because it did not feel like 12 degrees today.
Absolutely did not. That temperature was reached overnight, Carlyle, and we've tumbled since then. We're sitting at about the freezing mark right now, and we'll actually drop down to that low of -5 just before midnight. The wind chill also moving in. It's all thanks to a low pressure system that moved through earlier today. Normal this time of year, 4 degrees, but that doesn't really matter because we are nowhere near that. Record 21 degrees, 1945, record low -17 in 1998. Heading into the night, we do have an Environment Canada special weather statement. We're dealing with 2 separate warnings. One is a wind warning for us here in London as those winds continue to gust. The areas in yellow, you're under that warning. We're expecting the gusts to reach 90 kilometers per hour out of the northwest. And because they're over Lake Huron, that means snow squall warnings for Grey Bruce, Huron, and Perth, up to 40 centimeters possible by tomorrow morning. So it's certainly feeling like winter with days to go until spring officially starts. There's this massive system. You can see it is pushing out in terms of the rainfall, and behind it, the cold air mass means snow squalls and flurries is the story for Tuesday. Here's how that plays out on the forecast model. So this evening, we're going to see bands develop further to the north here in London. You could be under a snow squall for a brief period of time before transitioning to flurries. And then throughout Grey Bruce and Huron and Perth, you're dealing with snow squalls that will start at midnight and linger into the morning hours, not really dissipating until about 9-10 a.m. And that's why you could see up to 40 centimeters of snowfall. We're expecting a little bit of clearing late day Tuesday, so we could even see the sunshine in between all that flurry activity. Heading into Wednesday, we're tracking another snowmaker. That's right, that will move in Wednesday evening, bringing some more snowfall to the area. Tonight, the real big weather story for us is those gusty winds out of the northwest and then shifting to a westerly southerly flow, 40 to 70 kilometers per hour. The risk of snow squalls is there. And tomorrow morning, feeling like minus 22. So our overnight low certainly dropping, and we'll feel it because, of course, yesterday it was 12 degrees. So the winds is story for Tuesday. They'll continue to gust in the morning, afternoon, in and out of flurries. Our daytime high, -5 for Tuesday, feeling like -12. And then heading into Wednesday, we warm up slightly, -1. Scattered flurries in play Wednesday, late day system snow that will actually transition to a rain-snow mix Thursday. So we're getting a little bit of everything before we officially welcome spring on Friday with a balmy 6 degrees. But with spring, we're going to be dealing with some spring showers on Friday. The weekend looks to be stable, 4 degrees, although dropping down to below seasonal Sunday and Monday. Midwestern Ontario, same conditions for you, although a little bit worse with all that snowfall, especially Grey and Bruce County. You could see that 40 centimeters quickly accumulate overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, and bitterly cold temperatures for this time of year. Again, -7, feeling close to -15 as your daytime high on Tuesday, overnight low, if you're up early, -22. So Wednesday, that snowfall and scattered flurries is there. A bit of a break Thursday, and then again Friday as we officially welcome spring. We're expecting a little bit of rainfall. Carlyle.
Thanks very much, Rita. Coming up, how artificial intelligence is making it difficult for employers to trust the resumes they receive.
Pure Country 93. London's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's Big 50K Payday.
From the world stage to Canada Life Place, Canada's champions are coming to London. Don't miss Stars on Ice skating into the Forest City on May 3rd, featuring Piper Gillies, Paul Poirier, and more. Enter online at ctvlondon.ca for your chance to win a pair of tickets.
There have been profound economic impacts around the world because of the Iran war. Oil prices in particular are way up with significant ripple effects. With more on that, here's Annie Bergeron-Oliver.
The items on Hanan Alame's charcuterie platters are carefully curated.
This is like my passion.
But creating the beautiful food displays is getting more expensive by the month.
It's been extremely hard. Even like I opened up a year ago, from a year till now, things have skyrocketed. It's been double in price. So even like the meats, the cheeses, the fruits, even gas, because I do deliver as well.
Alame loves what she does, but she has some concerns about the future, a common feeling among small business owners.
Businesses haven't even recovered from the pandemic. Then we move into a trade war. Now we're moving into rising oil prices. The knocks continue. And for some businesses, this is a big threat.
Since the war began in late February, the price of oil has increased 40 to 50%. And economists say that could boost the cost of many goods and services, including food.
If you look at fresh fruits and vegetables that are coming in by truck from the southern U.S. or from Central America, that transportation cost is roughly 10% of the retail price. And so we will see some upward pressure for those products in the month of March.
If the war continues through the spring, economists fear inflation could increase too, making the Bank of Canada's next interest rate decisions more complicated.
There's no way around it. The next numbers will be higher. The question is how the Bank of Canada will then try to signal what it's likely to do. Most likely, right now it'll stay at the level it is, but it'll kind of say, look, we're really watching this. We don't want to get out of control.
The Bank of Canada will make its next rate decision on Wednesday, and many economists expect the bank will hold steady at 2.25%. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Artificial intelligence is seeping into more aspects of daily life, including the job search market. It can help people craft their application, but as Andrew Johnson reports, for hiring managers, it's one more layer to consider when judging a resume's legitimacy.
Eden Potier spent his teens breakdancing his way into high-level competitions.
But dance doesn't always pay the bills, so he's at this employment center looking for a job in the trades.
A little bit daunting, to be fair. You go on Indeed and there's so many different jobs you can apply for, and when you look at how many people have applied to each, it can be kind of overwhelming.
Potier knows new tech can help, but he's not sure about artificial intelligence.
I think it kind of becomes unfair for the person who tries to not use AI and wants to actually put the effort in themselves.
Many others have gone all in on a world where sweating over resumes and fighting with formatting is a thing of the past.
A lot of our clients have learning disabilities. I myself have dyslexia, so I have that unique perspective of knowing just how much it sucks.
Now AI can take care of that and your application will look great. But then what?
You can't trust the documentation you're receiving from candidates the same way anymore.
Recruitment agencies say resumes are all starting to look the same, and your perfectly crafted cover letter?
Honestly, I'd stopped reading cover letters years ago, and most of them are written by AI anyways.
She says figuring out if someone's a good candidate is taking longer and can cost more. New polling backs that up. Nearly 9 in 10 Canadian hiring managers are reporting a heavier workload due to candidates using AI, and 61% agree it has slowed the hiring process. The expert advice for job hunters is to keep your resume simple and use AI only as a tool. Don't let it do everything, because in the end, in an interview, you're on your own. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Canada's main stock market was up today. The oil supply disruption hanging over another week of trading. The TSX gained 335 points. In New York, the Dow added 388, NASDAQ up 269. The Canadian dollar gained a fifth of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold lost almost $60 an ounce. Oil fell more than $5 a barrel. Still ahead, arson footage released targeting a Windsor woman who was later murdered. Details on the police search for a connection. Welcome back. Provincial police have released new footage of an arson which they say targeted a Windsor woman months before she was murdered. They haven't connected the two incidents at this point, but as Chris Campbell reports, by releasing the video, they hope to get some answers.
Somebody knows something about this investigation, and we're just asking those individuals in the community that may have this information to come forward and speak to our investigators.
Ontario Provincial Police say the newly released video shows a targeted arson outside Nancy Gerwal's home in Windsor. Investigators say the fire was deliberately set in the early morning hours of November 8th. Police say a van pulls up to the home and a man gets out of the passenger side carrying a gas can. The suspect then pours a liquid on the front porch, lights it, and runs back to the vehicle before it drives away.
Investigators are releasing this video of the arson in an effort to identify the vehicle and individuals involved.
Police say the incident is now being looked at as part of the broader homicide investigation. On March 3rd, LaSalle police responded to a home on Todd Lane where Gerwal was found suffering from stab wounds. She later died in hospital. Investigators say they are now working to determine whether the two incidents are connected.
What we are trying to determine right now, if this targeted arson was made, is somehow connected to the ongoing homicide investigation.
Police say even small details from the video could help identify the suspect.
And anyone that may know somebody that has the same mannerisms, same type of clothing, if you do recognize that person or their mannerisms, or if you know who that person is, please give investigators a call immediately. We'd really like to speak to you.
Investigators believe the attack was targeted and are urging anyone with information about either incident to come forward. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Woodstock police say they're investigating a suspicious death in the city's East End. According to police, officers were called to a property on Dundas Street near Bexley. They say they can't release any more information until a forensic investigation is carried out. Police tape surrounded the front porch and a side entrance over the weekend, and police have said there's no known risk to public safety. Lambton OPP are asking for public help solving a 52-year-old murder case. 14-year-old Karen Coughlin was last seen alive March 16, 1974 in Sarnia. Her body was found the next day in a rural area outside the city. Police say based on her injuries, she was likely hit by a driver, and her body was then moved to where it was discovered. The provincial government has offered a $50,000 reward for key information in the case. Tomorrow on CTV News, the local preparations for St. Patrick's Day festivities, what partygoers can expect tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
Tonight's weather snapshot sent in from our viewer Gwen, a beautiful close-up of a male cardinal sitting pretty in the snow. The snow and cold temperatures making a return for Tuesday right across southern Ontario. We have a wind warning in place as the winds gust out of the northwest upwards of 70 kilometers per hour. We are expecting some flurries to develop overnight tonight into Tuesday morning. You'll wake up feeling close to minus 22 with the wind chill. We are expecting temperatures to normalize and feel more seasonal midweek.
The 98th Academy Awards were handed out last night in Hollywood, with one battle after another earning the highest acclaim. And as Andrea Case reports, there was plenty of Canadian content as well.
And the Oscar for Best Costume Design goes to Frankenstein. Kate Hawley.
Shot in Toronto and premiering at the Toronto International Film Festival, Frankenstein was nominated for 9 Academy Awards. It won costume design, makeup and hairstyling, and production design.
Huge thanks to Miles Dale. We share this with an amazing crew in Toronto and the UK.
Those thanks included Toronto producer and Oscar winner J. Miles Dale.
The Girl Who Cried Pearls.
The makers of the animated short film The Girl Who Cried Pearls gave a shout out to Canada's National Film Board and the place they call home.
We just really want to thank our amazing neighborhood. Thank you, the fantastic city of Montreal. Thank you, Canada.
Canada. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Korean-Canadian filmmaker Maggie Kang's animated feature film had this message.
And for those of you who look like me, I'm so sorry that it took us so long to see us in a movie like this. But it is here, and that means that the next generations don't have to go longing. This is for Korea and for Koreans everywhere.
Sinners, Ryan Coogler.
Going into the night, Sinners, the horror fantasy film, had 60 nominations, the most in Oscar history. Creator-writer Ryan Coogler won Original Screenplay. Its toughest competition came from one battle after another's 13 nominations.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Creator Paul Thomas Anderson finally won an Oscar for adapted screenplay after 14 nominations without a win.
And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
And the Oscar goes to Jessie Buckley.
The Oscar goes to One Battle After Another.
Andrea Case, CTV News.
And one of those Canadian wins also had ties to London.
And the Oscar goes to The Girl Who Cried Pearls.
Director Maciek Szczerbowski moved to London from Poland at 12 years old, where he finished elementary and high school. The film tells the story of a poor boy who falls in love with a mysterious young girl who cries pearls at night. The animated short is available to stream on Crave. A 2,000-year-old coin was recently donated to a British museum decades after someone attempted to use it to pay for bus fare. The man who donated the coin says his grandfather was a transit employee back in the 1950s. Staff at the Leeds Discovery Centre say the coin's origins date back to an ancient civilization on the North African coast around the year 1 BC. The coin will now be studied and displayed at the museum.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest on the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, a historic casting decision on a new Canadian TV show. Donna Sound has more on the Indigenous actor, model, and advocate breaking new ground.
From gracing the pages of the Sports Illustrated magazine as its first Indigenous model from Canada to the stage.
Ashley Collingbourne.
In 2024, Ashley Collingbull made history as the first Indigenous woman to win the title of Miss Universe Canada and placed in the top 12 at Miss Universe. Collingbull lends her voice to advocate for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls.
Those dots were to represent our sisters that haven't come home.
Collingbull is making history again as the first prize presenter for The Price is Right tonight, the iconic game show now in Canada.
When I got the call, I was actually in shock because I didn't know Howie Mandel knew who I was.
Television's host of the show, Howie Mandel, chose Collingbull as they both are homegrown Canadians.
She's a great representation of Canada, is a great representation of First Nation people.
Collingbull is from the Enoch Cree Nation in Alberta.
Went out, made my own video. Instead of waiting for a casting opportunity, I gave them a video and said, this is who I am.
Awesome, Dad!
Collingbull's hard work was recognized when she received the Top 20 Under 30 award in Canada and was named as one of Canada's top 10 power women. And she says it's her mission to help other girls achieve their dreams.
When I'm working with young women, Indigenous women, I always tell them to empower one another and not compete with one another because we're sisters.
Collingbull has many projects on the go, including acting, modeling, and she'll be coming out with her own novel. One thing is for sure, she will continue to be a role model and mentor Indigenous youth. Donna Sound, CTV News, Toronto.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.